are going to go live to Ottawa now. That is where Public Safety Minister David McGuinty is speaking live on border security. We're going to listen in.
Mr. Poilievre has rejected a CSIS proposal that would have given him classified guidance on foreign interference. What's your response to that?
My response is, I think that's regrettable. I think that as the leader of the official opposition, Mr. Poilievre has a higher obligation to 41 million Canadians who want to see improvement made in the area of democratic institutions and processes. I would encourage him to get that security briefing. I would encourage him to get the top secret clearance so he can join us in the response, our national response to what is not only a national but an international scourge. It's interesting, on the security and intelligence side, we cooperate with our American and Five Eye partners on a regular basis. We will continue to do that. That's something I will remind my counterparts of in Washington. And nowhere is this more obvious than in the area of electoral processes. President Biden surfaced all kinds of information around foreign interference in American electoral processes, and I think that we need to come together on this. And I think that Mr. Poilievre might want to reconsider his position on this, get the clearance, and help us move forward together.
What advice do you have for Ms. Latanzio, who's replacing you as chair of NCCOM?
I'm sorry?
What advice do you have for Ms. Latanzio, who's succeeding you as NCCOM chair?
I would say focus very much on nonpartisanship. Remember why the committee was created by our government and the Prime Minister. Remember the purpose is to improve our overall security and intelligence landscape. That's the review responsibility at NCCOM. I think if she does so, she'll get the very best out of the parliamentarians that she works with and has the privilege of working with as the chair, and go forward and continue to point the direction in the right way with recommendations for improvement.
One last question on the border video. What attempts, who has seen it? Who have you sent it to? And what attempts have you taken to make sure that officials in the White House, maybe even President Trump, has seen it?
I can't answer you specifically about that. If there's footage being pulled together, it would likely be through our agencies who are working together, perhaps with our embassy in Washington. I'll have more to say about that in due course.
Can you confirm
If Canada is already responsible for less than 1% of the fentanyl being seized going into the U.S., is this even possible to convince American officials that you're taking action here? If the numbers are this tiny already, like, is this an impossible task that you're trying to carry out?
No, it's not. It's not, because I think my experience over decades of work in and out of the United States is that our American neighbors, legislators, colleagues, business colleagues, tourists, family members understand what's at stake in the Canada-U.S. relationship.
So how confident?
And so as a result of that, I am quite confident that in due course we're going to be able to break through, but we need to indicate to our largest ally when they raise concern, we take it seriously. And we're going to continue to make the changes we need to make. We'll continue the campaign, we will continue the dialogue, and I'm always hopeful, I remain hopeful, we're going to be able to solve this. We've been doing it for 150 years together. I don't see why we can't do it now.
But Canadians heard today that almost regardless of what happens this weekend, there could be another set of tariffs that come April 1st. What do you have to say to Canadians who may be wondering what the point of all of this is if it seems that the U.S. is not taking this threat of big tariffs off the table?
My comment, my reaction to that is we keep moving forward and we keep working together and we go at it again, which is why I'll be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow and Friday to meet with yet more officials to bring them up to speed on the investments, the time, the focus we're having on the border now, as my colleagues are doing in other spheres of influence. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, we've been listening in live there to David McGuinty, Canada's Public Safety Minister, speaking with reporters about national security and also talking about relations between Canada and the U.S. with those 25% tariff threats from Donald Trump.